Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rome-Floyd Chamber Small Business Spotlight. We are broadcasting from the Hardy Realty Studios, and as always, we work in cooperation with the Rome News Tribune. I am Roger Manus with Rome Business Radio.
I'm Thomas Kislett with the Rome-Floyd Chamber.
Hello, Thomas.
Hey, how's it going, Roger?
Pretty good. How are things at the Chamber today? Y'all taking care of business, as we like to say?
Yes. Everything is beautiful. You know, just like today's show, everything is beautiful. We have two beautiful guests. One is, Emma Wells from Keep Rome-Floyd Beautiful. And then we have beautiful Jen Ferguson, who sells beautiful jewelry. So it's going to be an exciting conversation today.
That is interesting. One of the things we try to do is sometimes when we have a lot of guests to find some sort of theme. And Thomas out of the gate has already proclaimed the theme. It's beauty. Which is great. And also, Thomas, I digress again, as I often do. In the first 30 seconds of the show, we mentioned two songs from the 1970s. I said, taking care of business, and you said everything is beautiful. That I'm telling you how old I am, because those are hit songs in the 1970s. Anyway, hello, ladies. How are we today?
Fabulous. How are you?
I'm just great. Thanks so much for being here. Emma Wells, let's start with you at Keep Rome-Floyd Beautiful. I guess what you guys do is in the name.
Yes. Trying to make our community more beautiful, keep it beautiful, all that kind of stuff. So we are always busy. Thomas is actually one of my board members. He is super helpful, but our mission is to create a cleaner and more beautiful community through the education and involvement of our citizens. So we do a lot of different things to make that happen.
Okay, and just quickly over here, touching base with Jan at Ford, Gittings, and Kane. Jan, you guys are in the beauty business as well. How is the jewelry business through the pandemic here the last year and things like that?
I tell you what, you think you've seen everything, and then you see a pandemic. The pandemic, it was kind of like a tale of two cities. It was the best of times, and it was the worst of times. Things were difficult, and we had to learn to rethink and do things in a different way. But our customers and friends were calling and checking in on us and saying, hey, guys, we want y'all to be there for the long haul. So what can we do to keep you there and keep you strong? And you really learn who your friends are and who your supporters are. And this past year was a true blessing. It wasn't all fun, but it was a great, great blessing.
Well, that just shows great support for you guys as a family, if you will, afford getting it, but also just the institution that you are in Rome. I believe you've been on Broad Street since the late 50s. Is that correct?
Good job, Roger. Yes. 3 men founded this store in 1958. So we've been here a long time. So
we're talking, you guys have been around since Elvis Presley went in the Army. That's a long time.
That's true.
I love that you know that, Roger.
So
that's great trivia. Very good.
As I mentioned, I digress from time to time, and usually it is with sports or movies or Elvis Presley. So, okay, just as we kind of go around the room, Thomas, what made you want to invite these ladies on the show today?
Well, I know Jan numerous years yet. We are together in Rome Rotary, and we hosted together an exchange student. And I've been begging her for 4 weeks now to be on the show, but she was busy, which is a good sign. And then Emma, we just had a nice Arbor Day celebration, and I thought, hey, that would be a nice combination to have those 2 ladies together on the board and just talk about beauty.
Well, Emma, I guess we should get into some of the specifics. You guys, I quickly kind of perused the website. You guys do a lot of things. It's beautification. It is litter removal. I saw a thing about tarps. Just if you could kind of touch on maybe the variety of ways that Keep Rome-Floyd Beautiful sets out to achieve its mission.
Yeah, so we think it can happen in a lot of different ways, essentially. So when you think about beautification, a lot of times we think about like our Arbor Day celebration, planting trees. We do work with some of our local master gardeners and our local garden clubs to help support community gardens as well. We're also a Bee City USA, so we have pollinator plots throughout our community. Hopefully,
that's bee as in BEE, the bug, the insect, whatever it is.
Yes,
technically.
The insect. Yeah, so we're a Bee City. We have pollinator plots around several of our parks. If you drive down Ridge Ferry Parkway, hopefully in the next couple weeks they'll be starting to bloom. But that's kind of one way that we beautify things, by planting. But we are also involved in our public art program. We've got a new mural coming in at the library really soon, so we're very excited about that. And then we also do litter prevention, because as we know, litter's kind of a blight on our community. So that's another way that we pick up and help encourage people to keep their community beautiful. A lot of times if you have litter everywhere, it's just a decline of property values. It brings in other blight. So we do a lot of different events to help combat that. And then we've got events coming up to also try to meet people who are littering where they're at. So we're excited about that. We've got an event on March 19th. We're partnering with Aaron Excellence McDonald's on Turner McCall to give out free car trash bags to people who come through the drive-thru. So we're hoping to maybe prevent some of that litter from winding up on our roadways in the first place. But those are just some of the multitude of ways that we try to make our community more beautiful.
It kind of boggles my mind that people still litter. And I guess giving the benefit of the doubt, maybe it's accidental, maybe something blows out a car window, but are people just careless, thoughtless?
I think that they are. I think, unfortunately, people think that somebody else is going to do it for them, that we have inmate crews, so they can pick it up. And I always tell those people, yeah, but your tax dollars could be spent on something so much better than litter being picked up. Like, we could plant so many trees, we could plant so many flowers, we could do so many murals, but instead all that money and all that time is being spent picking up your trash that you felt like somebody else was going to pick it up, so it didn't matter. And unfortunately, those are the same people who don't put their buggies back at the grocery store. It's the same group of people.
Just people are the worst.
We see the worst and the best, thankfully.
I'm just teasing. I think I stole that line from Seinfeld. Again, back to pop culture. Jan, so can you specifically, did you guys have a big hit during the pandemic when people stopped being able to go out to shop? This is maybe getting down in the weeds, but I imagine you guys sell a lot of engagement rings. Did weddings get put on pause? Did that affect you? Stuff like that?
It did affect in a lot of different ways. And in the beginning, yes, weddings got put on pause because people wanted to have groups of people at their wedding. But we did find that a lot of people who were being quarantined together or were having to quarantine away from each other wanted to make sure that they spent the rest of their lives together. So people were calling in and saying, I need to get an engagement ring. I want to make sure that this person knows that I love them. And in the beginning, March 13th is when we had to lock our doors. And we were shut down from March 13th until May 5th because of the city ordinance. And we followed that ordinance to the T. I was the only one that came in for the most part. And we did not have any customers in the store because that was not allowed. But we would have customers come, and literally at our back door, we have our fabulous City of Rome garbage can. And I would take things out and put it on the lid of the yellow garbage can. And I would lay it down we had hand sanitizers and everything. I would lay it down there. The client would be outside. We stayed 6 feet away from each other. The client would pick it up, look at it. So literally sold, thanks to the City of Rome and their fabulous garbage cans, sold engagement rings across garbage cans.
Yes.
So we just learned to be still compliant with every rule, because I'm the daughter of a preacher and the daughter of an elementary school teacher. So I have no choice in life but to be compliant and follow the rules. It's just part of my personality that may drive the rest of the world a little crazy. But it was fun because you saw that people still wanted their lives to go on, but they wanted them to go on compliant with all the rules. And it was amazing. It was amazing how many engagement rings were sold in that way. So life went on, and weddings were postponed and then eventually happened. One of our own team members was scheduled to get married in April, and her wedding had to be postponed, but she got married in a thunderstorm at the Lindell Mill in July. So her wedding happened COVID compliant, but it happened later than she thought. So.
Well, supposedly rain on your wedding day is good luck. So hopefully.
Oh, it was the most beautiful day, but there were umbrellas and lightning at the same time outside at the Lindell Mill, but it was beautiful.
So how are you, is business kind of back to normal with customers? How are, in the store, things like that? How are you handling it now?
Well, May 5th is when we opened back up, and we had Dr. Gary Boschio come in and talk to our staff because our staff was calling, begging us to let them come back. And they missed their customers. They missed each other. They missed what we do here at Ford, Gittings, and Kane. And so they were begging to come back. And Gary is a very special friend. Our children grew up together. So I just called him and I said, Gary, what do you think? And he said, well, I think there are ways to do it. And there are ways to do it safely. And I said, would you come in and meet with our team? So he did. And Gary agreed with the large size of our store that we could bring people in and still keep socially distant. And we had hand sanitizers on all the cases. We had gloves available if people wanted them. We had masks available. And we had a sign on the door that says no more than 6 couples in the store at one time, because we just wanted to keep everybody feeling safe. And then we have kept our front door locked the entire time so that we can control the limit of people. And our customers have said, thank you for that. Thank you for thinking of us. Thank you for allowing us to come in. But thank you for not just going back to letting it be wide open.
Emma, is most of the stuff you guys do at Keep Rome-Floyd Beautiful outside? I mean, were you shut down at all?
We were. The city was closed from March through May, so we came back to work in office. Granted, we were still doing a lot of stuff online, working from home. We did virtual story time. All of our followers love that on social media, but most of our stuff is outside. So we still have had a pretty good response. But I do find that since what we do is very volunteer based, we really depend on volunteers. So some of our events are still really popular and people want to come. We had nearly 60 people at Arbor Day last week. But then if you host a cleanup, you may not have that quite big of a turnout, because I think a lot of people still are not necessarily comfortable picking up litter. So a lot of our events, we try to advertise is we're going to do this with a group so that it's already people that you work with or people that you see at church. So you're kind of not exposing yourself to anybody new that you're not already around. So I think that kind of aspect of having a group that's already set up and also having things outside has really helped us. So most of our things have kind of managed to go on as usual. So
how are you guys funded?
We are funded. We are technically a city and county joint department. So the county gives the city money and our budget comes from the city. So we get the kind of special status of being both, which is really nice when it comes to just having support. We have support from the city and the county, which obviously you need that kind of support when we have a county as big as ours and when we have the litter issues that we do in our community.
And donations too, or just city and county?
We do accept donations, but that's not a major part of our budget. So normally if we are accepting donations, it's for a specific project. Now, our Bee City organization is a 501c3. So we do take donations for that. But that program, if you've ever seen anybody with their Bee Rome shirts or their stickers, we sell those at the gift shop. And the proceeds from those shirts go straight into our pollinator plot. So that's kind of a little separate, but for the most part, we are funded by the city and the county. So,
Jan, I think I can know how you guys are funded.
Hopefully by you, Roger. And Thomas and Emma and all of our friends and new friends to be.
You need people to buy stuff. What other services do you guys offer? It's funny. When I hear jewelry store, I think you go buy a watch, you go buy a ring, but I imagine there's cleaning, there's appraising, things like that. What all do you guys do?
Well, I will tell you that the same thing I tell our team on a daily basis. We have the best team we have ever had. We've been around, like you said, since 1958. And some of our team members have been with us over 20 years, several over 10 years. And so our team is service oriented. They love when customers come in. One of the first things they'll usually ask you to do is, you want me to clean your jewelry? And we have some clients who come on a weekly basis just for that. If there's no charge, we check it, we clean it, we make it sparkle again. Because, life happens. We get soap and lotion and biscuit dough and dirt and everything else in. Sometimes we don't even want to know what's in it. But our team will clean it and check it for you, make it beautiful. And then we do appraisals. Alice Herring is my business partner, and she and I are both certified gemologist appraisers. I think there are 5 in the state of Georgia.
Wow.
And so you've got 2 right here in Rome, Georgia. So we do spend a lot of time doing that, and we're happy to. Jerome Thomas is our bench jeweler that heads that department. He is a bench jeweler and a certified gemologist. And as far as I know, he is the only one in Rome. He may be one of a few in the state of Georgia. So, and then we have Crystal Lovering, who is now a registered jeweler, and we have other team members who are working toward their professional titles in the jewelry industry.
Well, okay, that's interesting. How does one become a gemologist, and what sets that apart? I think you said registered jeweler. Are there this? It's like master's and doctorate. What?
Yes, absolutely. So the titles, the first one is certified sales associate, member of the American Gem Society.
Okay.
And most of our team here has that title, which means they've begun their studies of gemology and are working toward the next title, which is registered jeweler. And a registered jeweler has specialized either in diamonds or colored gemstones and has taken the courses and taken the exams to become qualified as a registered jeweler, member of the American Gem Society. The next level is certified gemologist, which is what Jerome is. And that means that he has studied diamonds and colored gemstones and is proficient in both. And then the final title, which is the highest one you can achieve with the American Gem Society, is the Certified Gemologist Appraiser. And that just means that you're proficient in diamonds, colored gemstones, appraising, and in the jewelry industry. And every one of us has to be recertified every single year. We have to study, and there are not many professions that do that, but we have to be recertified every single year to make sure we're staying on top of all of the new things happening in our industry.
Wow, that's interesting. I never would have known that.
Yep.
So you guys aren't just part-time off the street working on commission. You actually know what you're talking about.
Yes, that's what I love about our team. And you said, how do you get into it? For this family here, Joe Gittings is the one who started us on that trek. He's the one who realized that if he was going to sell things that cost this much, he better know what he was talking about. And he wanted his customers to trust that whatever he said was going to be accurate. And then when he hired me, and I've been on Broad Street now, this is my 48th year.
Wow.
So, I know. Thanks, Emma.
Are you?
Yeah. So for 48 years, I've had Joe Gittings whispering in my ear that, if you want to work for me, you need to be a professional. You need to know what you're doing. And even though he's gone, I still hear his words. And hopefully our team hears his words through us as we tell them that our customers deserve professionalism. And we do sell a different type of jewelry. I would encourage everyone to come in and look and see what we have. It's different because he encouraged us to always look for quality. We look for unusual, we look for fabulous, but it will always be really good quality. So, yeah.
Oh,
so the how do you do it is Joe Gittings.
A great story. Emma, what is your background? How did you get involved in Keep Rome-Floyd Beautiful? And one of the things we talk about on the show is sometimes when you're in high school or college and you're majoring in this or your interest is this, and some people find their path and they never leave it. Some people change careers 12 times over the course of their life. It's always fascinating to me. So what's your story, Emma?
Yeah, I went to Barry. That's why I kind of came back to Rome. But I thought I was going to be a dentist. I was like, yes, I'm going to work 4 days a week. I'm going to make a bunch of money. It's going to be great. And then my senior year, didn't get into dental school, and kind of also found out, like, I don't know that I want to be stuck in an office doing the same thing every day for the rest of my life to pay off the $300,000 of debt that I'm going to accrue. So I took a field botany class with Dr. Martin Cipollini at Berry my senior year of college. And I just loved it. I loved being outside. I loved learning different things. So after Berry, I went and taught at an environmental education center on the coast outside of Charleston, because I was like, man, if I hate it, I'm never going to regret living at the beach for a year. And I didn't regret it. It was fantastic. But I loved teaching. And so on a whim, I was like Googling. I still had friends in Rome at the time, and I was like Googling like places to work in Rome. And I emailed Ben Winkleman, who's our director. And like I tell people, the fact that he emailed me back as quickly as he did was a sign, because he's notoriously bad for responding to any kind of communication. So I wound up at the Eco Center, loved it, taught for a year. And then Mary Hardin Thornton, who was my predecessor, she left the city for a different opportunity. And I was like, I'm ready for a new challenge. I felt kind of like I had done everything that I could do at the Eco Center. And so I applied for that job, and that's kind of how I wound up where I'm at. So I love being around people, working outside, just kind of doing what I can to educate people about how we can make our community better. And I think it's really cool to have a positive impact on a smaller scale. Like, I'm thankful that I can see the results of the work that I do on a day-to-day basis. So that's kind of how I wound up where I am. It just kind of fell into place, but I'm very thankful that it did.
Thomas, we've done these before where it's just fascinating to me where, like I said, some people just kind of lock into their career and some kind of find it along the way.
Yeah.
But one of the things that is also a current theme, a recurring theme is, people come here for college. They go to Berry or Short or something, and then Rome becomes home. Well, isn't that interesting, Thomas? Do you find that a lot when you're connecting in the community?
Yes, absolutely. But, that comes also with hard work, and keep Rome-Floyd beautiful, does a great job of, providing that, quality of life impact. It's been now almost 8 years that I came to Rome, and, I didn't come for a job. I could work remotely, pre-pandemic 8 years ago, and my wife still does. We chose Rome because of the beauty. It's a beautiful community. We have healthcare. You mentioned the colleges, and it's nice, but you got to work hard for it. So now I'm here at Chamber, and you want to improve that quality of life. You want to attract new businesses. You want to attract new people moving in that support businesses on Broad Street, like Jan's and and Emma from the city. With her unique approach, provides or contributes to the quality of life. So it's a whole circle, and we all have to work together, hard together. And the Chamber tries to connect everybody and keep that quality of life at the highest standards as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Jan, you guys are kind of a Broad Street institution at Ford Gittings and Kane, but what else do you do to market yourselves? When we talk business, it's one of the things I like to ask our guests. In a day and age of social media, there's also opportunities, you can advertise on radio or in the newspaper, magazines, things like that. What do you do? Or are you just word of mouth? Are you an institution now and everybody just knows about you? What do you do to kind of keep your name out there?
Well, I feel greatly blessed because my daughter is a part of our family business now too. She is our marketing director at Ford Gittings and Kane. She has another career of her own and is very active in the Chamber now. My daughter is Michelle Reichard. And we find it interesting that a lot of people have not put together that I'm her mother, she's my daughter. And it's funny now that she is making a name for herself in the community, and people are linking that. So Michelle Reichard,
she's also she's a realtor at Hardy Realty, is she not?
She is.
Yeah,
she is. And she found her mentor there. I probably shouldn't say this, but I I just have to give a shout out to Jimmy Byers and the whole team at Hardy, because Michelle has found her home at Hardy Realty just as I found mine with Joe Gittings and Ford Gittings and Kane. So that's my 2 seconds of aside that I have to just shout out. So Michelle Reichard oversees our marketing, and then in-house we have Krista Lovering and Hannah Bing, who do an amazing job with our social media. They get on Facebook, they get on Instagram, they let people know what we're doing. We have a lot of events that our customers have helped us grow by word of mouth, and they're things that our customers come to expect, and that's been a great way to help grow our company. We have been on the back of the Chamber magazine back when it was Georgia's Rome, then when it was Momentum, and now as Bridges. We have sort of partnered with the Rome-Floyd Chamber through using their avenue of keeping our name out there, especially in industry and in businesses. The Rome News Tribune is still someone that we look to, and we use the local radio stations. I hope that you've all seen, there's a billboard on right there across from Home Depot that Michelle puts up for us. And then we use some other billboards, but it's just a mix that Michelle puts together for us so that hopefully we can help, because we know that we need to use our local partners to get our name out, because if we support them, they can help support us. And there are other magazines that Michelle uses, B3 and Northwest Georgia Living. She tries to give some advertising to each of them. So we all try to work together just as the chamber tells us to, because we all need to connect and use each other.
Emma, what do you guys do at Keep Rome-Floyd Beautiful? Is it when an event comes up, you proactively are trying to get the word out, or is it a strategy of kind of constant presence through social media? What do you guys do?
Yeah, we do anything that's free, pretty much. Our advertising budget is very small. But I'm pretty much a one-woman team. I have a great Berry College intern, but other than him, it's pretty much me. So we advertise social media all the time. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and I refuse to do TikTok. I'm just like, I'm out of that generation. I've aged out. I can't do it. But we're really active on social media in that way. We also do a monthly mailing list. I go on any radio show that will have me. Thank you guys for having me here today. But we pretty much just use anything that we can. Doug Walker with Rome News Tribune is really great to put our events in the paper. But we really just push out any opportunities that we can for people to get involved, because I think that's what people are looking for. A lot of people, they don't care about, we want to educate people too, but for the most part, people are looking for opportunities to get involved. So you'll probably see stuff on our social media this month about our free tarp day coming up. We have a cigarette butt litter cleanup this month, and we're also doing our drive at home event. So you'll see all that kind of stuff on our Facebook, but we try to shake it up and do different stuff every day, but we pretty much do anything that we can do for free. So that's our marketing strategy now.
I just find it funny. You've aged out of TikTok, was it?
I have.
And she's the baby of this group.
I'm sorry. I'm 27. I'll be 28. I can't. I'm like, our college students come in and I'm like, they're like, you're not old. I'm like, but some of the things that you guys say and do, I just can't even relate to. Yeah. So the whole thing that like people were freaking out a few years ago when millennials came into the workforce. Well, now this whole new generation is coming in, and I can understand what you guys felt when we came into the workforce. So I can relate.
Yeah. We need to get this message out. Will somebody just Insta-face, Snapgram it? Just, so somebody please go Twitter book Insta chat this, please. Anyway, okay. Last couple of questions here, Jan. Obviously, people around Rome know where you guys are, but just contact information if people want to do business with you, your street address, website, social, anything you want to get out there for contact information.
Well, we're at 312 Broad Street in historic downtown Rome. It's fgkjewelers.com or pick up the phone and call us. It's 706-291-8811. We love to hear from you.
Great. Emma, what about you? Social media, tags or website, whatever.
All that jazz. Yeah, we're on Instagram, Facebook at Keep Rome-Floyd Beautiful. We are at www.keepromefloydbeautiful.org. You can email me at ewells@romega.us or give me a call at 706-236-4456. And then my office is located in the super cool Rome-Floyd Eco Center at 393 Riverside Parkway Northeast. So come to the park and come check out all the native species and all that fun stuff. So that's where I am.
But whatever you do, do not look for her on TikTok.
No.
She is way too old for TikTok. I don't even know what TikTok is. Thomas, chamber information.
Chamber information, we on 1 Riverside Parkway. Easiest way to find us for probably the younger generation is just to Google us. Just put in Chamber Rome, Georgia, and you'll find us, and you'll find all the member and the staff members you want to talk to. However, we have a phone number, and if you want to write that down, our phone number is 706-291-7663.
Fantastic. Well, this was a great theme, Thomas, of beauty with jewelry or beauty with the city and the county. Way to go, Thomas.
Hey, Thomas.
Thank y'all so much for joining us. This was great. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And come see us.
Sure.
Come see us and let us prove what we have.
We'll do that. Thank you, guys. You've been listening to the Rome-Floyd Chamber Small Business Spotlight. We are broadcasting from the Hardy Realty Studio, and we work in cooperation with the Rome News Tribune. Thank you for listening.